Hey everyone, I'm Res Sky Kitty, and today I want to talk about what everybody is talking about, the dreaded slap of Chris Rock by Will Smith.
Ah, oh, that's hot. Oh, wow. That's hot.
Really, this video is just going to be me addressing some of the weird and wild narratives that I've been hearing going around about the incident. Narratives such as, Chris deserved it, or Will couldn't help himself, he's being controlled. Really? Okay. Let's get started on the first one. So, Chris deserved it, huh? So the next time you say something that someone else deems to be out of line, you'll be ready to get smacked the up, right? That's what I'm hearing. Because not only was what Chris said not that bad, could even be taken as a compliment depending on whether or not you're a person who's looking to be offended. When you say things like Chris deserved it, you're setting a precedent that anyone can hurt anyone over basically anything. So the people that are saying this need to check themselves or be prepared to be checked. I'm just saying, because if you can't take something, you ain't got no goddamn business dishing it. Period. Now let's move on to the next point. Will is being controlled. He's been abused. People are making fun of him and he just snapped. Whose fault is that? Is it your fault? Is it my fault? Is it Jada's fault? I hate to be a victim blamer, but really, whose fault is it that his wife cheated on him with a younger man and then he chose to stay? Whose fault is it that he's made some weird rule for himself wherein he cannot leave his relationship even though it's clear to the entire world that it ain't working? Whose fault is it that he's so caught up in this narrative that he's made for himself that he can't bear to accept the reality of his situation? As much as Jada sucks for what she did to him, and that probably has been doing to him for a very, very long time, and I'm pretty sure she's some kind of covert narcissist or something like that, it was him who decided that instead of maybe dealing with that situation, perhaps leaving, stuff his feelings down until they finally exploded on someone who has all of nothing to do with his situation. That's his responsibility, his problem, and really the only reason people are feeling sorry for him or even really know about the event is because he's famous. And famous people get all of their life events blown out of proportion. Speaking personally as someone who's been in a relationship with a covert narcissist, I can tell you firsthand that most of what allows that relationship to persist in the first place is ego and your attachment to a certain image that makes you acceptable to that other person. And I really don't believe that that mindset stops at Jada for him. I believe his whole life at this point is some kind of show that he's putting on for the general public. And yeah, fame and toxic relationships and all of its pitfalls are very hard not to fall into, but if you do, that's on you. It's your life. No one can help you, especially when it comes to a situation like this where it's mostly a battle of the mind. Jada is a small female person. She can't threaten him with violence if he says that he's leaving. So at this point, the only thing that's keeping him in that relationship is his ego, his inability to see that he's down bad, and his resentment at the world being able to look in and see what exactly is wrong with his personal life, because he insisted on sharing out of a need to prove that him and his relationship are perfectly fine when it's clearly not. Honestly, the best advice anyone could give Will right now is to just learn from these mistakes and move on. Really, move the on. Because if you move on, the entire world will be forced to move on from you. But Will likes the spotlight. He likes perpetuating this weird narrative that he's cultivated for himself as an all-around nice and wise guy with no mental problems. And so, do I feel bad for him? No, not at all. Because the only reason he ever seems to feel bad about himself is when he's being indignant about problems that he's made for himself. And that's all I gotta say about it. If you agree, or you think I'm a poopy head, write it down in the comments below. Get at me, hoes. Peace.
I would so like it if you would subscribe.